Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to this weekly energy update for September 25th through October 2nd. Now, of course, today we have the new moon in Libra that is at its newest. And last week we did cover that in that weekly energy update. So if you want to check out more about this Libra new moon and how you can use your new moon wishes, be sure to check that out. The playlist for all the weeklies for September will be at the end of the video, so you can check that out. Now, at the end of this week on October 2nd, Mercury exits its retrograde. Yay! And we move into the post-shadow time, which is a time for us to review what did we learn about our communication and like how we want to be communicated to and how we communicate with others. During the Mercury retrograde, it's a lot of that reflection on those types of things in our life. So for this video, I'm going to pull cards for each individual zodiac sign, and we're going to just ask that. What did we learn about communication, even our self-talk, possibly during this retrograde? So we're going to jump into your specific sign right now. All right, Aquarians, this is your weekly energy update, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Blue Messiah reading cards. And all of the cards I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below. So if any of them catch your fancy, then you know where you can pick those up for yourselves. So, of course, we're looking in here, and we're going to see what the Creator and Spirit want you to know about what you learned around your communication during this last Mercury retrograde. So for all our Aquarians, what would you like them to know, please? Okay, we do want this one. And you've got the False God, card number 11. Beautiful card there. I'm going to go ahead and put that right here. And let's see what energy comes with this one. And there's a quote from Osho which says, "Darkness is the absence of light. Ego is the absence of awareness." Many people associate false gods to the worship of statues, idols, and deities, which are outside of their religion and belief systems. They don't, however, recognize the false god hiding within themselves. This god is the voice of the ego. The ego is the self-constructed identity that's made up of who we think we are based on our beliefs from our individual life experiences. It is that part of you that does not want to let go of lower vibrational thinking patterns. The ego is the conflicting voice that you sometimes hear when wishing to follow your heart. Stay conscious, dear one, of the energy you feed within you and be discerning of the false gods within others too. The ego often hides behind strong opinions that appear to be true. Aligning yourself with the God-Goddess energy within is aligning yourself with truth, unconditional love, and compassion. You can tell if another is coming from the place of the ego or by truth by the fruits of their tree. Good trees bear good fruit that inspire light, peace, and oneness through love. This light does not come from a place of judgment, separation, and condemnation, nor does it use the energy of fear to control. Through the wisdom of your heart, may you always be guided by the light of truth. And the chakra that this deals with is the solar plexus, the heart, and the throat, which throat chakra is about communication, right? And it recommends an exercise which says visualize two plants within you. One is the ego, and the other is your divine self. Send both plants love and compassion, but water only the plant that represents the divine light within you. Watch it grow to become a strong tree grounded in love. And the affirmation for this card is embracing the garden within me with loving kindness. I feed the divine light within me with love. So perfect. So for this message around communication, you have really learned which voice is of capital T truths of the higher realm, and have recognized those that are of the human ego, which are the fear of losing conditional love. So you have really recognized that voice within you during this last Mercury retrograde in big ways. So you have really seen which voice is true and which voice is false within you. We're also going to pull these energy oracle cards. We'll see what else Spirit would like you to know around what you discovered around this. So I am loving that, though, because when you discover which one speaks the real truth, the capital T truth of up above, then you know which one to trust, right? So I love that. So for all our Aquarians, okay, what else would you like them to know? And they have the yin and the yang, 22. I love it. Master number 11, master number 22. Master number 11, I always look at as we understand our ego, our human characteristic side. And then card number 22, or master number 22, is about connecting to our higher self, realizing we're so much more than just the human character, but where there's this actor behind the character, a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. Both are us. So you can see, here's spirit with the human ego in it, and here's the human ego with spirit in it. So this is so perfect for what we were talking about here. So I'm just going to put that here, even some of those same colors in there. So let's see what else they want you to know here. So the yin and the yang, or yin and yang, however you pronounce it. And so this is about passive and active, intuitive and logical. And this card does represent energetic life cycles, and its purpose is to help you identify the particular cyclic energy moving into or out of your experience. In its upright position, which is how we're going to read these, it heralds a yin cycle where most of the action seems to be happening under the surface of things. So this is a time of great receptivity, intuition, and gestation. External circumstances may have forced you to go within and examine the present activity that was going on. It's an especially good time for completion and to wrap things up. Yin cycles often call you to be passive, yielding, and reflective, so open up to these sides of your nature. Being more than acting is the intention here. And that's what I feel you've done during this Mercury retrograde, is you have been taking this passive, reflective approach to it and understanding what's been going on inside. And I think it feels like the more you kind of stood back and watched and listened to your own thoughts and people's actions and what people are doing, you're like, oh, so that is unconditional love. That's of ego. This inside of me is of ego. This is of unconditional love. And it's been really dividing it out into this beautiful kind of yin yang within you. Now, we're also going to use the Naked Heart Tarot here and see what else Spirit would like you to know around your discoveries around this communication. And one more time. All right, so for all our Aquarians, what else would you like them to know? Okay, they do want to that one and that one. What else? Okay, they do want this one. So these three down here. And what else? Okay, they do want these two. And, oh, nope, they don't want that. They want these two. Okay. All right, so let's take a look and see what else they want you to know here. We're going to start with this one down here. And you have the Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands is new energy that ignited during this period of time for you. And that makes total sense, because as you recognize what voice is the true one, which, like it talk about planting a tree, where you're investing your energy is into the one that's of unconditional love. And so when you recognized that separation, you're like, oh, there's two things within me. one of the human ego and fear, one of my higher self and unconditional love. I'm going to invest my energy here. And so you really grabbed on to the essence and understanding that you hold this beautiful, powerful energy within you. And you basically, like the magician card, you point your wand where you want it to grow and get bigger. And in doing so, like if you were growing your ego and your fear before, when you move away from it, that shrinks and this grows. Yeah, and then you have the Two of Swords here. So I laugh because in the Pisces reading that I did right before this one, these two cards came up in exactly the same spot. And you saw I shuffled, and I even shuffled in between the readings. So you kind of have a similar message so far with this. Theirs was a little different in their purpose and approach. So if you have Pisces in your chart, you might want to check that out too. But this is all about trusting your intuition, swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations, the mental side of things. But this is the two sides that we're talking about here. We have one that's of the fear and one that's of the higher realms. The one of the higher realms, indicated by the moon, because the moon energy is about going into the unconscious, the subconscious, the higher realms. And so this is showing you that in every decision, every moment is always a choice between the two, and that choice is up to you. So definitely these are all flowing right here. And then you have the Ten of Swords, and this is great. I know it looks like, oh my gosh, are you sure this is a good card? But the Ten of Swords is endings and new beginnings of thoughts and mentalities. You got sick and tired of feeling exhausted for trying to live up to everyone's expectations and all those small t truths. Those are the false gods. Those are all those opinions of the outside world that even some were conflicting one another. And you're like, oh, I'm going to try to make everyone happy and try to obey everyone's wishes that they think I'm supposed to do and should do and need to do and have to do and must do and ought to do, And so you are during this period of time, you realized I don't have to try to live up to what everyone else wants me to do, because you're realizing that you have this choice between the two each moment. So I really kind of feel like this power of choice really came in very clear for you as well. But let's see what else they have to say. Oh my gosh, the Ace of Cups was up here too for Pisces. So definitely I would check out the Pisces reading. If you're not sure if you have Pisces in your chart or anywhere, just trust your gut. If it resonates and you want to go check it out, check out the Pisces, because this is all about the unconditional love. The chalice, the Holy Grail, is being offered to you and being brought to you. And this represents all those beautiful, like it talked about in there, the side of yourself that is made of unconditional love. So, we have both parts within us, like the yin yang, but you are ultimately the actor behind the character is you, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being that's made of unconditional love. So you have this new beginning, these new starts, that a new way of looking at things, a new way of feeling about things, a new way of acting out those thoughts and those beliefs inside your head came to a whole new different way during this last retrograde. Now, you haven't started anything new yet, but as we enter the shadow, now will be the time. You might have been doing some planning, some new desires to do stuff, and you've been holding off, waiting for this retrograde energy, for the tide to start going out, for you to launch some new stuff. And so that's what is being encouraged for you here. Yeah, and here you have the Tower. Endings and new beginnings. Things are being removed out of your life on purpose, for a purpose, making room for the new. And it's better. It's upgraded. It's more in alignment with where you're going here. And of course, you had the endings. The new thoughts are being removed and allowing this new space for you. Think of it as a condemned home that you were living in. They were like, oh, but it's my home. And you're like, well, it's flooding because the pipes are broken and there's a gas leak and the roof's caving in and the floor is cracking and it's missing a wall. But it's my house. Well, the lightning bolt comes, burns down the house while you're outside. And then the insurance company comes and builds you a brand new house that's up to date, upgraded, and it's more in alignment with where you're headed and what you're wanting to do. So I love that for you. And then you have the Earth Mother. Yeah, so here you go, Empress. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, new birth coming in, definitely. So here you had the endings, and here's your new beginnings. Here's the tree it was talking about that you are planting, and you're feeding, and you're pouring the love into this tree, this Empress, this freedom. It's not restrictive. It's like Mother Nature, it's so free and flowing, and there's like not all these restrictions compared to when you live in the city, right? Just this beautiful flow of love and growth that's coming through all of this. Then your last card is the Heart of Wands, which would be the Queen of Wands. And so the Queen of Wands, of course, is holding that Ace of Wands there. And the Queen of Wands is beautiful for this reading. One, she's very confident. Whatever she focuses on, she can laser focus that energy and boom, things happen. She gets things done. Things move quickly. It grows. The other thing, though, all the queens, in addition to ruling over their own element, which she's fire, are all given water as well. So she's half fire, half water, which of course creates steam, and steam you use to make movement, to get things going, like steam engines, right? It also represents the connection to the spirit world. Normally, in a standard tarot deck, she'll have a black cat on there, which represents her connection to the spirit world. So not only can she get things done, she doesn't feel like she's taken a risk so much because she's developed, listening to the voice that is the higher self. And because of that, when she gets to this point in the road, or like in this giant maze where there's huge walls, you can't even see over them. When you reach a fork where you have to go left or right, you just ask the upper beings up above, and eye in the sky, as I call it, and they tell you take a right, and so she just takes a right because she knows, she's listening, and she gets it. So you make a lot of movement, a lot of productivity, so this new launch that happens, which you want to do, not during a Mercury retrograde, but when we go into the post shadow, the furthest we get away from the Mercury retrograde, the better, of course. So the further you wait after October 2nd, the better. But with this Queen of Wands here, I don't think it matters. I think it just waits. It's like counting down, and then October 2nd hits and it's like launch, boom, and then you make quick movement because you're ready to leave things behind. New birth happens. It happens quickly, happens fast, and it's beautiful. So I am loving this for you, Aquarians. I don't have anything else to add to that, but if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign and a few other types of videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, and then also by clicking the subscribe button, you are given access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, there'll be an all option that you can click on. And when you do that, you'll be notified of any new videos that do come out on my channel. Also, doing those things, it helps spread the Zen love, and it does help my channel grow in significant ways, because when you like a video, you share one of my videos, you comment on one of my videos, especially subscribing to my channel. When you do those things, it makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy happy. It does want to share the videos of my channel automatically with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, please know I am very, very grateful. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and my personal recorded readings actually come with a sliding price scale, which means that you'll be offered a few different price points that you can choose from, so you can choose one that's in more alignment with your budget at the time, and offers a little bit more flexibility around that. So if you're interested in any of that, it all is listed in the description box below. All right, mighty Aquarians, as you go throughout this post-shadow period, please know every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. We'll be talking soon. In the meantime, though, you hang in there and you take care.